It's hot outside. You hate your job. You ain't got shit to do. We're talking real estate today. What's up, everybody? Cashflow Kris here. I'm one of the AZ Flip guys. The other AZ Flip guys is on the phone with our lawyer right now. We are busy discussing private placements. We're talking about raising money. We're talking about all the legal aspects to it because we want to make sure, first and foremost, that we do everything right. It's too easy to make money legally in real estate to do anything illegally. So what's up? We got JD in the house. We got Greg Cook all the way from Florida. What's up, Greg? We're going to check out those properties today that you sent over. Thanks for sending those. So guys, today, this is your episode. Whatever you want to talk about, wide open. This is episode 66. We've gone through fix and flips. We've gone through buy and holds. We've broken down 2 apartment complexes from beginning to purchase to management,
including an out-of-state one.
Yeah, which we talked about last week. We're talking all about management. So come on. I think we've exhausted a lot of what we want. So what did we miss, guys? Come on, bring it to us. Bring it to your questions. What do you want to know about? How do you want to know about it? You want to know about raising money, fixing, flipping, buying, holding? Bring it.
Whatever you guys want to know. Yes.
How'd that discussion end up?
Pretty good? That was, pretty good.
I was telling him we were talking to our lawyer, looking to raise some money.
Yes. So we've talked about this before, guys. We've talked about how we moved into buying and holding cash flowing apartment complexes. And then we've also talked about how to raise money to buy and hold apartment complexes. One of the things that we had talked about, and I believe we did this in one of the shows, but we talked about a 506. And basically a 506 is a Reg D thing with the SEC, which basically is a private placement memorandum. And it's where it allows you to put an offer out to investors and say, hey, we have opportunities. We invest in these type of investments. Let us know. We would love to get you in our deals. Long story short. However, it's a lot more complicated than that. So lawyers are definitely highly required. If you are thinking of doing a PPM, hire a lawyer, hire an SEC lawyer to be exact. You want to make sure that they're SEC compliant because the SEC does not fuck around. And you're not going to jail if you fuck up with the SEC. You're going to prison, and you don't want to do that.
White collar, baby. Lots of white collar guys. And like I was telling them, BP.
We got Randy Matthew. We got Greg Cook.
Oh, there we go. Alberto Ceja just joined us as well.
Nice.
Thanks for joining us, Alberto. I see you're killing it out there, man. Congrats. So I was telling them, it's too easy to make money in real estate legally. Like it blows my mind how all these people go do this shady shit and actually break the law when you don't need to. I mean, I don't know.
So we have Greg Cook who says he wants to talk about raising money.
It's a good topic. How about more specifics?
Yeah. So Greg, when it comes to raising money, there is a lot of aspects to raising money. So if you have any questions in particular, then by all means, feel free to ask away. We are going to be talking about whatever it is that you want to talk about. So make sure you come in. Chime in. As always, we love it when you say hello. We love it when you comment. We love your opinions. But today we're asking for your questions. So if you have any questions, make sure you contact us. And for anybody listening on a podcast, this is the main reason why you want to be joining us live on the AZ Flip Guys show Fridays, a single Friday at noon Arizona time. So you can join us live and actually ask us questions about whatever the topic is that we're talking about. So right now we have Greg Cook. He said he wanted to know about raising money. Greg, just type in there exactly what it is that you want to know about raising money. We got Axe, who says good afternoon. We got Kelly Rojas. Kelly, thank you for joining us. Hey, Kelly, so I finally met your dude. He finally showed up at the 2% Club, and I was able to meet him. It turns out that we know a similar person from back in the day. Turns out that he also used to work at Verizon Wireless back in the day. My best friend while I was working at Verizon was this African guy named Tapua Batani, and this guy knew him. They used to work together, so it was freaking awesome. Cool. Let me see. You got Stanley Candle says, you guys mentor? Yes, we do mentor. As we say all the time with the AZ Flip Guys show, with Flipping Friday, we're not pitching anything. We're not selling anything. We're just providing people opportunity. One of the things that we recently started doing is offering mentorship. I have a very limited amount of space as to how many people I can mentor, just because I don't really like dealing with that many fucking people to begin with. My limit is 5 right now. I have a few spots left, so if you're interested, let me know. Kris also mentors. Whichever one of our styles better matches with you, hit us up, let us know. But Greg Cook here finally responded and said, I want to raise money to buy an apartment complex. Perfect. So we can talk about that, Greg. We can talk about how we've raised money to buy an apartment complex. The one that we recently closed over in Arkansas, the one that you brought us that we were trying to close on. Different information, we'll go into that.
Ryan Harper in the house.
Ryan Harper, buddy. Man, we got Propelio in the house.
8 pounds, man.
Oh, shit.
I'm up on all you guys.
Oh, shit. Let the shit talking begin. Let the shit talking begin.
Just so everybody knows, we got a little competition going on. The Dallas-Fort Worth crew, they're a little thick around the belt, so they all decided to do a weight loss challenge. And so I had to jump in on that because I went to Hawaii. I gained like 10 pounds. I'm also a little thick. So I started with the fast, which I'm still fasting. This is my 3rd day. I'm about to fall over. But got me on a nice jump start, 8 pounds. So
nice.
Bring it.
And guys, one of the things that you will notice if you do get into real estate, and Greg, I haven't forgot about you. I'll answer your question here in a second. But once you start doing better financially, eventually you start looking at all aspects of your life. My mentor tells it, and he says it all the time, and I've shared it many times with the AZ Flip Guys. How you do anything is how you do everything. So eventually, once you start doing better in one aspect of your life, you're going to want to do better in another. And really, what's the point of making a shit ton of money, being financially free, if you're going to be, diabetic, or if you're going to be suffering, dying early from cancer, obesity, or a bunch of other problems, which is the reason why I have recently started doing this year from January. I've been going on my weight loss journey, and I'm almost at 25 pounds lost so far, bro.
Killer, man.
Not bad. So anyway,
that's an issue that is big with me too. Like,
nice.
So Larry Miller, you ever heard of Larry Miller? Larry Miller, Toyota.
Oh yeah.
So this dude owned the Jazz. He's a auto sales mogul. Like, he's a billionaire. Dude had all the money in the world, but he couldn't control what he put in his mouth. I have similar issues. I eat the wrong stuff. I have diabetes. I shouldn't be eating a lot of the things that I eat, especially not the amount that I eat. So this guy couldn't control his diet. He had everything. He's a billionaire. He could have done whatever. He could have hired the best doctors, dietitians, cooks. He couldn't control himself. They cut off his feet. He had his feet amputated, and he died young. It's no good, man.
So right here, Ryan Harper, he's got hashtag REI weight loss challenge. If you guys are interested in learning more about the weight loss challenge that they're doing, make sure to check it out. I think they have some type of competition, some type of prize going on. Greg Cook says he won a book from Ryan earlier today. Nice, man. I'm glad to see that you're getting benefit from the people that we've had on the show learning. Randy Matthews says, yo. We got Ashley Hernandez who says, hey, guys. So let me see. Thank God that day at the restaurant I was eating all the cotton candy. Nice. And you know what? That is great that you were doing that. But at the end of the day, you're married, if I remember correctly. You got kids. We all got other things bigger than ourselves that we want to live for, and our health comes in aspect to it. So make sure that you really, really pay attention to that. But let's get back to Greg, who was talking about raising money, particularly raising money to buy apartment complex. That's going to be our first topic, since that was the first question. If you guys have a question, make sure that you put it in the comments, and we'll answer those questions as we go along. But Greg wanted to know about raising money when it comes to buying apartment complexes. So Greg, there's going to be a few different ways that you can buy an apartment complex. Number one is that you happen to have a big stack of cash somewhere, a shit ton of load money in the bank, and you're just bored out of your ass and you got nothing to know what to do.
Just ask your dad for a small $1 million loan.
That one's probably not going to happen, right? But let's just, throw it out there. So that one's not going to happen. Then you can do number two is what Kris said. You can ask somebody for a loan. You have a rich uncle, you have a rich grandma, your dad has a shit ton of money. He was an own somewhere,
you never know,
or something like that. You never know. You can ask to borrow money. Now, a lot of times, most people don't come from money. Most people don't have those type of connections, but that's another way of you can do it. So that's step number 2. Step number 1 is paying in cash. Step number 2 is staying. Now, these are not step-by-step instructions to how to get there. These are just different ways of how you can do it. Number 3 is borrowing money from private lenders, which is what me and Kris did. So number 3 is after number 2. Obviously, me and Kris couldn't go to our parents and say, hey, we needed this much, we want this much, we want here, we want there. However, we could go to other friends and family and other individuals that we've done business before and reach out to them and say, hey, here's an opportunity that we have going on, which is exactly how we raised the money to do not only our apartment complex deal that we closed over in Arkansas. That's the way that I closed my apartment complex deal over in Douglas. And that was actually the way that we were planning on closing the apartment complex deal that you brought us, Greg. So that's step number 3. That's you can, or option number 3 is that you have the option to then borrow from private investors. Being that that's something that we did, I'm going to spend a little bit of time on that. When it comes to borrowing from private individuals, you have to understand that you're borrowing from private individuals. These people may have money, but they're probably not the definition of wealthy. They may be rich to you, but in reality, they may not be rich. You know, when I wasn't making $100,000 a year, I thought making $100,000 a year was a shit ton of money.
For sure.
And then once I made $100,000 a year, I was like, this ain't really a lot of money.
Yeah, once you get there, it's never as much as you think. And then secondly, real estate's a very expensive business. This isn't little money, it's big money. And so when things go a little bit sideways, it could take a little bit of time to, you know, get money back to people sometimes. So you never want to, we have a couple rules, you know, never take someone's last dollar,
nope, ever,
because things will always go wrong.
And we will, as I said, we'll go a little bit into that here, but you got to understand that these are people's money. This is somebody's savings. This is somebody's life savings. This is somebody, you know, you could have somebody else like Kris's age, and then his dad passed away and leaves him some inheritance. And now this is the money that Kris's dad worked his whole life to leave his son. You know, you're playing with fire at this point, so you have to be very careful.
Look, we got some more people. We got Max Jimenez. What's up, man?
Yes. We got Max in the house. We got Guillermo Serafin, man. We got great. Good to see you here, Guillermo. Yeah, we got Chris Jackson.
What is he? Episode 60. You want to learn more about Guillermo? Go to episode 60. It's fire, man. It's awesome.
And not only is it great things, you know, here with the AZ Flip guys, we don't really focus a lot on motivational. But I would probably say that the episode with Guillermo was the most motivational show that we have ever had, just because of the content and how it was and how his story inspirational, being blind at the age of 16, starting his own business by the age of 17, and everything that he's been able to accomplish in between. We got Max Jimenez. We got William Baker all giving us thumbs up. We have Greg Cook here giving us a few thumbs up. Ashley Stevens says, hey, guys, finally caught you live. Thank you guys for joining us. Now, the benefit of catching us live is that you get to ask us questions. And today, you get to ask us whatever you want. We're answering questions. And right now, we're answering Mr. Greg Cook's question, which he wanted to know how to raise money, particularly how to raise money to buy apartment complexes. So we were talking about raising money from private individuals. And if you're a private individual that wants to have some money there, that wants to get into some real estate, let us know. We're always willing to talk with you and see if you might be a good fit. But one of the things, like you said, it is you don't want to take somebody's last dollar.
Never.
Because it is investment, guys. So even though you might think it's a good deal, and even though it may be a great deal, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? There could be some giant meteor that hits, and now everything goes completely to shit, and you know, you just don't know what it is. So there's always that type of risk. Second of all, you want to make sure that you're upfront and honest with every individual that you're dealing with. Don't pretend to know what the fuck you're doing when you don't know what you're doing. Don't act and spew out numbers that you have no fucking idea what the fuck you're talking about. Because once again, guys, you're dealing with people's money. You're dealing with people's retirements. And this is probably the best way for people to raise money to buy a apartment complex. Now, it's getting a little bit more popular these days, and it's known as syndication. Basically, syndication is when you borrow. So in option number 2, we said you can ask a rich family member, right? So that particular person may not have it. Now in option number 3, we're asking around people that are friends or family or other people, business associates. But let's say one person may have some money, but they don't have enough money to do it. They want to do it, but they just don't have enough money to do it. Well, that's when you can start putting together deals. Now, when you start putting deals together in the manner that I just mentioned, you start getting into a lot more legal ramifications, which is why I was on the phone, and Kris, before he got on the show, was on the phone with the attorney right now, going over which one of these forms. There's many different ways of doing it. If you guys go back to, I don't remember what episode it was. I want to say it was somewhere in the late 40s or 50s, where we talk about financing, because I went to a class in Orlando specifically to learn about raising money. So it's somewhere in that time frame. You guys go check it out. But I was talking about all the different regulations. In reality, you know, you have your 504. You have basically what's known as a Reg D, which is something through the SEC. That's their regulations to protect investors. Then you have your different forms, and we would be looking to create either a 504 or a 506. Within a 504 and within a 506, there's many different options of those, and each options give you different options as to what we can do, which is what we were talking to an attorney. If you are looking to create, if you're looking to create a fund that way, if you're looking to syndicate a deal in that manner, talk to a real estate attorney.
Yes. Okay.
Talk to a real estate attorney. That you just want to make sure that you're covering your ass. Talk to your real estate attorney. But it's still in the same manner of you're going to be getting money from other investors, from other people. These, depending on the form that you file, you may be able to reach out to your friends and family members only. You may be able to reach out to different investors and advertise. Each form, each reg has its plus and its minus, depending on what is going to work for you. So don't just go starting these things. Get an attorney, hire an attorney. You want to make sure that it's an SEC attorney. Let me see before.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say, make sure that you got a few deals under your belt as well before you try to do something like this. You know, you want to make sure that
partner up with somebody who has.
So that's the next part that I was going to go through. So remember your point that you're going to bring up is we're talking about private money. There's several different ways to borrow private money. A great way to do it is to give away a large portion of the equity if you are a newbie. For example, if you find a great deal, you know, take it to an investor who can take it down cash and then just ask to be a part of the deal. A lot of people are too short term and they just want to get that quick wholesale fee. Well, no, get a piece of the action. You know, maybe say, give me 20% and let me watch that, because, you know, when you're a total newbie, you know, you running the show might not be the best idea. So, you know, riding someone's coattails by just finding the deal and just getting a piece of it.
And being open and honest about it, guys. Telling your investors, hey, look, I'm brand new at this. I know that you have money to bring into the deal. However, I'm brand new and I partnered up with this guy or these guys. You know, I'm keeping a back end. I'm kind of letting them take over, or we're doing this together, or I have this mentor, or I have somebody guiding me through the process. There's different ways to kind of get through that scenario to kind of get to where you want to go. We have here, before I get distracted, we got Greg Cook, who says 60 was a great show. Absolutely. Thank you, Greg. Much appreciated. Speaking of show number 60, Guillermo Serafin, who was our guest at show episode 60, says, you guys rock. Thanks for having me again. I just got done speaking at the Closing Table Mastermind in Newport, California. That's what's up, guys. And Guillermo, if you're still on, you can attest to this. We've talked about this many times, and we've said this probably more than any word that we've ever talked about on the AZ Flip, guys, which is networking, 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 networking. And masterminds are great places for you to network. So make sure that you're networking. However, the AZ Flip guys show is another great place for you to network. Come and meet. You know, Greg Cook, because of the AZ Flip guys, was able to find out about the Propelio show. Actually gave us a shout out over there. We got Chris Jackson, who says, what's up? Ryan here gave us a shout out. earlier gave us a comment saying thank you for giving him a shout out on the Propelio show. And, you know, we love to interact. That's all networking, guys. That's all coming and connecting with each other. But going to a mastermind, being a part of a mastermind, paying to be a higher level masterminds is a great way for you to get in with different people. So we talked about raising money for apartment complexes. You can either have that money all yourself, which obviously most people don't. You can borrow from a rich family member, which same thing, most people don't. You can borrow from other individuals that you may know. It may not be a family member, but it may be a friend, or it may be just a business person that you know who may have this large sum of money, or whatever the sum of money is laying around, that might be willing to do something with you. You can syndicate money, which is you can put together different pools of investor through syndication. Make sure that you're doing it the correct way. Make sure that you're talking to an SEC attorney. Make sure that you're going over what your goals are, what you're looking to do, if you're looking to advertise, if you're not, if you're going to do an in-state deal, an out-of-state deal, if you're looking to pull money from just within your state, from nationwide. There's many different variables that pop into that, to make sure that you talk to them. You can always put together an LLC and sell equity in your LLC. So you say, hey, we're starting a new business. You're going to be my equity partner. So for X amount of money, you get X percentage of the company, which means that you're going to get X percentage back in returns and everything else. So you want to make sure that that if you do it that way, once again, everything is writing, everything is very, very clear. You're not taking advantage. You're not lying to people. Because once you start doing that, your reputation goes down the line, and that goes your days of raising money. For the most part, you know, my investor tells us all the time that, you know, how are you going to get rich with money? But where's that money going to come from? Is it going to fall from the sky? Obviously not. It's going to come from other people, and you have to serve them, and you have to treat them right. So make sure that you bring your questions, guys. We are live right now. We have quite a few different people watching us, but we want to know your questions. That is the topic for today, is ask us anything. Ask us whatever you want regarding the topics of real estate. We have, I think, let me see, I had somebody here earlier who was asking about mentorship. Oh, that's Stanley. Cool. So Stanley, I'll send you over a message. You said he was interested in the mentorship. And if any of you guys out there are interested in mentorship, make sure that you let us know. As I said, you might be hearing us right now live on the Facebook. You might be seeing us on YouTube. You might be hearing us on one of the many different podcasts out there, one of the many different RSS feeds. So you'll be able to get our content. Just like always, we're not pitching anything. We're not selling anything. We're just providing opportunity. And right now, I'm providing you guys, whoever wants to be mentored by me personally or by Kris personally, the opportunity for that. I will tell you guys, just like anything else, is what you put in is what you get out. And I know that with my strategy, the way that I do it for my students, what I teach them isn't going to make you just successful in getting a deal, but it's actually, I strive for long-term success as to what I teach them. So I'm not trying to get them to do a deal within the first week or whatever that horse shit is. Like I want to prepare them for that long term. So anyway, if you guys are interested, let us know. And if you guys are individuals or know of private individuals that do have some money just sitting at the bank account, you know, your grandma's got fucking money sitting in our savings account getting 0.001% or whatever fucking horse shit they pay people at the bank. But you know, Christina, my assistant, her tia, her aunt, who was retired, put the money in the bank, put it in a CD, went to go collect her CD money. It was peanuts. It was peanuts. She said, fuck this shit. I'm going to just take that money. And she stuck it in a shoebox under her bed. Like literally just had money there. So I was
literal mattress money.
Yeah. And I was able to do, you know, I was able to talk with her and say, hey, I can actually pay you for that money, and you still have that money there whenever you need it in the future. Sure. So guys, if you guys are in those scenarios, let us know. We would love to speak with you. We got Max Jimenez here who says,
before you hit Max's, let's do Greg's real quick. So Greg wants to know, what percentage do we offer for the money? So now percentages are something that you really don't want to talk about out in public. If you want to PM us, Greg, definitely do that. But, you know, we pay our people pretty well.
Hold on. So here's the thing, guys. There's a saying, what is something worth? Whatever somebody else is willing to fucking pay for it.
Yeah.
What is that money worth to you? So let's say that, Greg, you do raise some money. What percentage are you going to pay? However fucking much is worth to you.
Yeah.
If you say, hey, Mr. Investor, I'm willing to pay you 5%, and the investor says, go fuck yourself because I'm not going to lend to anybody less than 10%, you now have the choice to say yes or no. What is that money worth to you? And that's going to be the answer to that question.
Yeah, when a few years back when I was getting started, I had one lender who would lend me 100% of the money that I need. He'd lend me all the money to buy it and all the money to fix it. But he wanted 18%. And I did that for a while. I don't do that now, but that was worth it for me because I could still make money on that, So definitely, what is it going to take to make a deal? And a lot of times when you're talking to your investors, make sure that they put out a number first. What's a good return for you? Even before you ask them, when you're discussing investing in general, what's a good return for you?
Because everybody's definition of good is different.
Yeah.
Everybody's definition of big is different. You might think, hey, man, I know this guy who's got $300,000 laying around ready to invest. This guy must be rich. And the guy with $300,000 is like, man, fuck, dude, I ain't got shit. My buddy's investing $3 million. He's investing $30 million, whatever. It's all relative to where you're at. But the percentages goes back to what it is worth to you. And definitely follow Cashflow Kris's advice. This is something that we both have done before for our flip deals because we've worked with many private individuals. And as I said, if you guys are interested in partnering up with one of our flip deals, let us know. If you guys are interested in partnering up with our on our apartment complex deals, let us know. But Greg, make sure that you listen to his advice. At the end of the day, you want to get them to tell you what they're at. You want to know whether it's even realistic before you start going down that line of getting everything ready and then come to find out that they won't be happy unless they're getting a 20% return or some because there are people like that. We got so anyway, that should answer your question. We got Aaron Schuster, we got Melissa Lutman here in the house. Thank you for joining us, guys. Max Jimenez, he says, when looking at a deal, how many private investors can you bring onto that deal as a lender before it becomes a legal issue, or is there no limit? So when you are looking at a deal, how many private investors can you bring into that deal?
Yeah, they're not lenders, first of all. If they're lenders, it's not a PPM because they're lenders. They're not equity partners. They're straight debt partners. Right.
So I think what he's trying to say is how many private investors can you bring into a deal?
Yes.
The reality is as many as you want.
Yeah. How many can you? But how many before it becomes a legal issue?
Yeah.
If they're not doing anything, if their job in this is to provide the money, then one is the real answer.
There you go. Just like that.
But so there's a lot of ways around that. So when you're bringing on one person, there's a lot of things that you can do. Maybe, you guys figure out that you are going to work together, who's going to do what, because the private placement memorandum, that's to protect you. It's disclosing it's pulling all of the information out of the deal, duplicating it 20 times in legal jargon, and then making them sign off on it. My PPM info for the first one I did is literally like 70 pages. It's ridiculous. They say the same 3 little sentences over and over again, but it's just there to protect you. You don't really have to do it. But if you want to cover yourself, then yeah, really that is the number. So
here's the thing is we've talked about it before, and we've talked about how we funded our deals, particularly our flips, with no money out of our pocket. And what we did was something called gap funding. Now, in order to do gap funding, you have your lender, which is your hard money lender, and then you have a private individual, which is your private money lender. Now, in reality, technically, if you wanted to, you could. So the gap funder gets put in second position. Basically, that means that if for whatever reason you can't pay and the lender has to foreclose on you or something happens, you'll get sold. The hard money lender gets paid out first because he or she gave out the largest amount, and then the second private money individual gets paid out second. Now, legally, you can put a third or a fourth on there. Ethically, you shouldn't fucking do that. You should never, ever, ever do anything more than a second. Absolutely not. And even when you're doing a second, you want to make sure that there's enough equity in there to be sold that if for whatever reason you have to sell that property, the first and the second will be taken care of. Because the last thing you want to be known for is that douchebag who fucking took this old lady's money and then lost her money because you had put her in second, third, fourth position, or you're trying to cover some deal.
Right.
You know, if you can't find an investor, a second position investor with enough money, then you probably shouldn't be doing that fucking deal to begin with. Yeah. That's just that. So and Max, then when it comes to the legal issue, you can, if you're going to be bringing more than one private individual for one deal, then it's more than one. Anything more than one, now you are now you're doing the what we talked about, which you need to have the actual memorandum in place. You need to be speaking to the attorneys on that. You can bring in money, pool money together from either doing a what was that that group funding thing, man?
Crowdfunding.
So you could do crowdfunding, or you can sell shares of your LLC for cash. So you say, hey, you know, if you bring in $100,000, you get 20% of the LLC, or whatever that percentage works out for you, and you can work those numbers out. With all that being said, though, if you're going to be bringing money, I would highly, highly suggest you talk to an SEC attorney. I would highly, highly suggest that you go the Reg D way. It's going to cost money because obviously you're talking to an attorney. It's going to cost money to set up the thing. It's going to cost time, but it's going to be worth it at the end. So more than one, you don't want to be doing. And even though you can legally do and add a third or a fourth position lien on a loan, don't do that, man, because that's just a great way to fuck yourself and screw your investors. You don't want to be doing that.
Yeah.
We got Gina Reese in the house giving us a thumbs up. Hey, thank you for joining us. So anyway, guys, if any of you guys else has a question, make sure that you are bringing in the question so we know when, like, it's your show today. It's your show. We're going to go as long as you guys want, or if not, then.
So Max was saying that he also got 100% financing. So I definitely wanted to clarify that. 100% of the money that I needed, not 100% of the value. You never want to borrow more than 75% of the total value, even if they're going to give you all the money, because that just makes you over leveraged.
But as an investor, though, you would say, you know, hey, I had somebody who would fund me 100%, meaning that they're going to fund your purchase price and your rehab.
Yeah.
However, what Chris was saying here is that you want to make sure that that number is not what the property is going to be worth. Like, you definitely don't want to be pulling all your equity out what you think is worth ahead of time, because you never know. You never know. You know, I had so Kelly Rojas, who was our audience member here. She had reached out to us before. I had mentioned many times about the 2% Club. She shows up to the 2% Club all the time. Whenever she can't, her boyfriend shows up to the 2% Club. She was talking to me. We were breaking. She was asking me about mentorship, and I did talk to your dude Kelly. So if you guys are interested, as I said, I only have a few spots left. So let me know if you guys are interested to move forward. Nonetheless, we were talking about a potential deal. She said, you know, I got this deal here, and I don't know if it's a good deal to buy or not. And long story short, if everything went right, they were looking to make about 10 grand. I said, don't do this. Don't do that fucking deal. Because you are one appraisal away from losing money or flipping a house for free. You are one bad swing of a market. You are one problem away, one shitty inspector, one crappy ass headache away from doing and eating and just taking it up.
and a lot of times people in the higher dollar, they'll also be like, well, there's a $60,000 spread on a $600,000 property. Well, no, man, you got to go by percentages, guys, because it costs. Everything is in proportion.
Yes, you know, and basically you don't want to be leveraging 100% to what you borrow. Right. You always want to protect your investors. If you're raising money, your primary objective is protecting your investors. Fuck your fucking profit. Because at the end of the day, if you fuck over your investors' money, your profits don't fucking matter. You're going to look like a piece of shit. Nobody else is going to want to lend you borrow money ever again. You need to make sure that you're protecting your investors' money. And the way that you protect it is by not over leveraging it. So if something were to go wrong, if you have a property sitting on the market for a while, the market takes a dive, so comes in less, you can be like, you know what, fuck it, let's just sell it. At least my investors will get their money back and their interest that I promised them, which should be primary.
You're dealing with something like that right now.
Number one, don't lose their fucking money. Number two, make sure you fucking make them more money, because if not, you will never get more money. However, I don't think that's what Max was talking about, but it's definitely a good, there was a good segment for us to teach anybody out there who's looking to raise money, looking to borrow money. Don't ever leverage 100% of what the thing is worth. We got Max Jimenez here who says, great, thank you guys. I'm glad you guys talked about this because this was on a flip that we bought last year from foreclosure. A third individual came out of nowhere and put $28,000 lien because he lost out on third position.
Oh, so a previous owner. So the house went to foreclosure. Second and third got wiped. They got nothing. And so he tried to lien the new owners on it. Yeah, that's bullshit. That ain't going to happen.
But nonetheless, guys, this goes to prove my point. Now, I didn't fucking know what Max was talking about. I didn't know shit about this deal. But this is why you don't put a third position lien. And if you're going to put a second position, if you're going to do a gap funding scenario, which we've talked about in detail in the previous episode. So make sure you go back. I don't remember the fucking episode, but I know that we talk about it in detail when it comes to gap funding. Never, ever have the total amount between your first and your second supersede even 80-85% of what the total value is, because you don't want to lose them money. And if you don't make them money, which is bad enough as is, but then you even lose them money, that is the absolute worst thing that you can do. So we got Sanja Ray here giving us a thumbs up. He said, where you guys at in AZ? Heard you guys from Ryan Harper. Nice. Sanja, we are over in the Phoenix market. So we are over in Phoenix, Arizona, in the metropolitan area. I live over in north central Phoenix. He lives over in the East Valley, East Mesa, so way on the other side. But we do everything valley-wide. If you are in the Valley, we would love to meet with you. If you're a local investor here in the Phoenix area, or hell, if you even are an out-of-state wholesaler but happens to get deals in the Phoenix area, we would love to talk with you. We would love to hear about it. We're always buying. Actually, I recently just got a deal. Chris recently just bought a few deals. So we're constantly always buying deals here in the Arizona Phoenix market. And with that being said, also the multifamily national market.
National, 20+ units, guys. That's what we're looking for. And we're picky. We're not looking for everything. We don't want anything that's trash. We don't want anything that's vacant. And it's got to be at least a 12 cap when we buy it. Oh, that's not, you can't do that. No, that's not. No, that's what we want. So bring it to us. We'll do value add. If rents are low, that's cool, but it still needs to be a 12 cap.
I'm more. It's got to be more like a 14, 15 when you bring it to us. So we'll take a look at anything around a 12 cap though, for sure.
Sonia says she's in Avondale. Awesome.
Nice.
Hit us up. We're local. I got the Cashflow Kris page. Definitely friend Brian and I. We're always doing local events. Brian runs a nonprofit, so we always got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, and we actually, if you guys didn't know, because we don't really talk about it that much, can you guys see that right over there? I'm hoping that you can, but this is a little memento that I brought me back from Haiti. This was actually something that I bought last year when I was in Haiti. If you guys follow me on my personal page, if you guys follow me on Instagram at Cashflow Creator, so make sure if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure that you do. But if you follow me there on Instagram or on Facebook, you know that I went to Haiti last year to go work for an orphanage. We gave back. It was one of the most amazing, life-changing experiences that I have ever had. I told my buddy Chris about it. We had the opportunity to go this year. Chris looked up some tickets. We were able to not only go to Haiti and give back, but we're also going to be able to take a few days to, I believe we're scuba diving, right?
Baby.
We're going to be scuba diving with our good friend Nick, a.k.a. Sally, a.k.a. Nomadic Nick, a.k.a. a fucking fun time whenever we get with this guy. We're also meeting with my best friend and good friend who went last time, Casey Kahlert, who will be there. So it's going to be an amazing boys' time, but we're also, more than anything, we're going to be giving back. So this is a great thing. We'll talk about it later at the end of the show, how you guys can help us, because we're raising donations to take some materials back to there. We have Kelly Rojas. So first and foremost, we're gonna give a shout out. Credit where credit's due. We got Tina and William Pettis in the house. Woo-hoo! For you guys that don't know, Tina and William Pettis are our property managers at our Arkansas deal. Big shout out to Will, man. You are crushing it, man. I am very, very proud of you. You know, I was talking to Will, texting him, and he was just like, you know, we need to do this, we need to do that. And I was talking to the renters, and I'm letting them know that the shit's not going to be the same around here. There's a new sheriff. I'm getting him everything. And then after he responded, I said, this is exactly why we hired you.
Yes.
Like, this is exactly why we hired you. So Will, keep up the good job, man. We will be, once we're done with the show, me and Chris will be discussing the new issues that you brought up with some of the units. So we'll be getting back to you here shortly about that.
Real estate is a team game.
It
guys.
is a team game,
Seriously.
man. And I'm so glad that we have you and your wife on our team, man. It's a pleasure, our pleasure. But as Chris was saying, it is a team sport, man.
Absolutely. I mean, just think about all the people that we have in our lives. Our hard money lenders. I mean, they're a phone call away. If something comes up and you need to close in 2 days, we got a guy for that.
Yeah, it's part of our team.
If we need a title company to do this and that, we got that. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. Network.
And guys, and that's one thing that you will learn as you grow in entrepreneurship. You're limited to what you can do yourself. We got JD, the intern behind the camera, and me and JD were having some conversations. And dude, this is why I'm telling you, JD's a fucking genius. He saw the opportunity to come hang out with people that were actually doing it. So me and JD are having a conversation about one of my new businesses, the open house business. And I'm telling him how I do have competitors, but every single one of those competitors is going to get stopped because they're limited as to what they can do. They're all solopreneurs. Mm-hmm. They don't have a team. They haven't built a system to build a team around. And in real estate, beyond anything, if you want to grow and if you want to do big and if you want to eventually create actual financial freedom, you need to have a team around you. As Chris was saying, a team of lenders, a team of title people. My title lady knows me by fucking name. Mm-hmm. My title lady knows me so much that her goddamn mobile notary knows me so much. And if you guys have watched the show, Anna, the mobile notary, has been on the show at least 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Anna don't even call. She just texted me. She said, I'm on my way. You're going to be home.
Mm-hmm. And it's a team because Noemi knows our insurance people. So when she's like, hey, who's insurance? Oh, call Charlotte. Yeah. Well, yeah, she knows, you know what I mean? It's like, we don't have to, it's great. It makes things so much easier to work with.
They all know each other. So we got Kelly Rojas here in the house who says, thank you both. Reached out to you both. Chris, thank you for, thank you. And the other investor overpaid about $5,000 to get that deal. BP, you taught me to learn the difference and walk away. So at the end, it was worth it. Perfect.
Yeah, because the deal that you don't buy is the best deal you're ever going to do.
Oh, my fucking God. Yes.
Don't force it.
So I should be closing. I should have closed yesterday. There was a few little issues with the contractor getting the little final things done that the appraisal wanted for Walton. But I should be finally getting rid of this. Now, I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I should have never, ever bought that deal. And even though it looked like a good deal at the time, I had a gut feeling, but I ignored it. I said, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to make it happen. It's going to be a quick little sale. Worst case scenario, I'll just stick it in the market, sell it as is. I could easily see doing that. Everybody told me I couldn't get the price that I thought I was going to get. At the end of the day, I ended up getting the price that I thought I was going to get. Nonetheless, sat on that shit for almost a year, paid a shit ton of utilities. The water bills were like $400 a month with that bitch, man. That shit sucked. Nonetheless, man, I think I probably lost about $15,000-$20,000 on this deal, man. The deal that you don't buy is the best deal, and learning when to walk away is definitely going to be the best thing that you can do in general, man. So,
and I'd say the worst thing about your $15,000-$20,000 loss is it was a slow bleed.
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 a month, $1,000 a month. You know what I mean? You're gonna recoup, but you're not gonna recoup what you need to. Hey, mom. My mom doesn't watch the show because this guy cusses way too much. She doesn't like it, but love you, mom. I'll call you afterwards.
So anyway, guys, that learning to walk away, definitely a big thing. And big shout out to Kelly. Once again, reach out to people that know what you're about. And guys, this is why you need to network. Kelly met me through networking. She networked with us on the show, then she networked with me in real life. And then if her and her dude hire me, then they'll have me as a mentor. But this is why you need to have mentors in your life. The easiest way, Greg Reed said this, who's a mentor of mine, a friend. I've been to his house many fucking times. He's hooked me up with the person who's helping me write my book. He's going to be helping me. He's going to be doing the foreword on the book. Best-selling national author. So cool. Fucking amazing individual. Greg Reed has a saying that says, the best way to get across a minefield is by following the footsteps of somebody who has successfully made it to the other side.
I love the visual on that, guys. Think about that. Visualize that. Imagine in World War II, you know, there's all these mines here, right? You got dead bodies to the right, dead bodies to the left. Follow those footsteps. You know somebody made it through, man. I mean, I love it.
That's exactly how it goes, guys. And that's where mentor comes in. There's somebody who has already made it to the other side of this minefield that we call decline.
Who do we got? Oh, we got Ray Milliman in the house. What's up, Ray?
Nice, Ray.
I think he's out with
He was out with his family. I thought he was out vacationing with his family somewhere in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, that's that. We got Sonia who says that they're in Avondale. So we're all over the valley. Make sure to reach out to us. Make sure to follow our nonprofit, Together We Grow Phoenix, and you can always be a part of that. We do stuff all around the valley, and we've done stuff in Avondale before.
Oh man, I went to an E-Liances, which is an entrepreneur networking group on Tuesday, and he told an anecdote about the group, but his story, I can't wait to tell you afterwards. It's going to make you thousands of dollars for your organization.
Nice.
And you're going to be giving back at the same time. It's going to be awesome.
Perfect. And that's the power of networking, guys. That is the power of networking, of getting around and being able to just ask and being able to learn from other people that know and are better than you and more experienced than you in different scenarios. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, make sure that you're asking.
I hit all those places already.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so we got William Pettis here who says getting everything lined up, got papers in mail as well as receipts from the last tenants. All the way, Will Pettis, all the way from Arkansas, representing Breckenridge Apartments. Perfect. And once again, Will, we really appreciate you and your wife being on the team. Super excited. And as you can see, I told you from the beginning, we're not fucking around. We're about to take this motherfucker and we're about to do this thing. And we're about to create a nice system where everything is going to be running very smoothly. And we're very, very appreciative to have you on our team and helping us make that happen. Oh, yeah. We got Sonia who says, oh, that's sweet. Will says he's honored to be part of the team. We're here to also, Will says we're here to grow as a team, grow as big as possibilities are endless. And that's the amazing portion of being in real estate, is that you control your own future. One of the things that I love the most about raising money for the apartment complex that we did in this Arkansas deal is the possibilities that we have for our investors are endless. So we said, based on the numbers, based on everything, we know that we can pay you this percentage. So you will never, ever get less than this percentage, right? And that's called the pref. And when you're putting together terms and shit, you've got a preferred return. You're not going to get, even if we fuck up, even if we horribly wrong, you're going to be made sure that you get paid at least this percentage. However, our job is to go above and beyond that. And we are about to blow this thing up. So as we're going and as we're reducing expenses, as we're raising rents, as we're adding different things to the apartments, as we're renting out some of the apartments that weren't rented out, as we're going to be adding more ways to make money from the, whether it be the application fee, whether it be adding more washer and dryers to that laundry room that we have, whether it be rubs, whichever way that we're looking to add value and bring more money in for our investors. Because as we grow, as the company grows, because they own a percentage of it, they're going to be making more when we then turn around and refinance it or sell this property in a few years. They're going to be very, very happy cappers. And in the meanwhile, they're still getting paid, which is awesome, 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 awesome. We got Ray, as you said, we got Jaden in the house. Thank you guys for joining us. If you guys have any questions for the AZ Flip guys, make sure that make sure that you're bringing it to us. What do we have here time wise?
50.
Cool. Yeah. So we're running about an hour show.
Yeah.
So here's what we're going to do is we're going to start wrapping up. If we have anybody who has a last question for us, make sure to put it on there. One of the things that we've been doing here in regards to making sure, and probably next week we might want to consider talking about this, is the back end work of organizing apartment complex.
Lots of work involved.
We spend the better part of this week working with a new company that has helped us integrate software with our current multifamilies. So we own multiple real estate, we own multiple buildings, we own multiple doors, which are how many units you're particularly renting out. We have a few single family houses, we have a few multifamily housing facilities. So we have a few different properties out there that we're managing, and this company is helping us put everything in order, put everything together. And one of the best things about, that I liked about that experience that we were doing is having having every single aspect of something thought out.
Yeah, I know. Anything. Yeah, that's why we were talking, and we're pretty sure that all they did was interview like 10,000 apartment owners and say, name every subject, every problem that you possibly could have had. They have an answer to that problem. I love it. They are so solutions based.
They had answers to problems that we didn't know we fucking had. We didn't even know it was going to be a problem, and they already had the answers for that. So I just put it in the comments, and I commented Together We Grow Phoenix. It should be the link on there. For you guys that don't know what Together We Grow Phoenix, it's our local nonprofit that I run. I started this, I'm going 3 years now. Fuck. Wow. This is year number 3 that I'm running this nonprofit.
And you were doing it before. It was just not official, right?
Wasn't official, yeah. So it's 3 years since I've been running it. I think it's 2 years since it's been official.
Awesome.
So anyway, nonetheless, guys, part of our nonprofit, we give back to the homeless. We give back to lower income families. And one of the things that we're doing is because me and Chris are going to we are going to Haiti. We are asking for donations. So I get you, we got the email from Scott. Did you get that? It's got the list of everything. Yep. Basically, we're going to Haiti. We're going to be working with an orphanage. So we're asking for, I'll put the actual link for our PayPal if you guys are not local or if you just can't get to us and give us actual stuff. But what we're looking for is we're looking for school supplies. We're looking for clothing for kids. There's both guys and girls. So they're both boys and girls. They're anywhere ranging from a year old to 15, 16 years or so is where they get to. They're all shapes, all sizes. So whatever it is that you guys have, shoes, clothing, any type of small toys, learning materials, books, pencils, school supplies, backpacks, all that stuff, and then baby materials, diapers, formula, anything along those lines. Both me,
sure, cloth diapers.
Oh, we just regular. Whatever, just diapers in general. If you have cloth diapers, great. If we're not just regular diapers, that's great too. And if you guys want to help out but are not in the Phoenix area or just don't have the time to meet up with us or whatever the case might be, I actually had somebody yesterday drop off 3 backpacks full of stuff. Nice. So that was pretty awesome. Somebody from the 2% Club. Anyway, guys, so we're doing it through the nonprofit. We'll be leaving August 2nd or August 3rd. We'll be out there for about a week and a half. And it'll be a nice way. We have Rico Rossi who says, do you guys know anyone who does real estate or knows a lot about real estate in Mexico, particularly in Rocky Point? Rico, I do know somebody that does real estate in Mexico. I got to ask to see if they're doing real estate in Rocky Point. I know a lot of it with Mexican real estate is just that you can't.
Right.
So a lot of it is like, you can lease it and stuff, but there's different ways for people to do it. I know I have a friend who part of one of my mastermind groups too, who's actually building a condo complex down in Puerto Vallarta. So that's not Rocky Point, but he's dealing in Mexico as an American. I have a few other friends that do it, and then I do know somebody particularly that I'm thinking off the top of my head that would go and has done real estate in Rocky Point, Mexico. So we'll think about that, and we'll reach out if let me try to find that information here for you. So anyway, guys, we are down to the end of the hour. We just had John Sabella join us. Thank you for joining us, John.
Paul Perez as well.
Yes, and if you guys have any additional questions, make sure that you put them on the comments. We do go back after the fact and check them out. If there's any questions that need to be answered, we can answer them in the comments. And if you guys are hearing us from a recording, whether it be a podcast, whether it be YouTube, make sure that you join us live every single Friday on the AZ Flip Guys. If you guys are not following the AZ Flip Guys, make sure you go to Facebook /AZ Flip Guys, and you can connect with us there. You can see what we do. You can check out our live shows there, and more importantly, you can come and ask your questions. Rico says he's a dual citizen. Perfect.
Nice.
That means that you'll be able to avoid a lot of that bullshit that comes with actually owning the thing, the real estate there, and you should also be able to avoid some of the tax implications that comes when you're a foreigner doing business in a different country. Nonetheless, I'll reach out to my friend that I'm thinking about.
On that, I would like to throw something out there. I haven't even talked to you about it. So, Rico, if you have people who, this is a thing that a lot of people have issues with. There's Mexico money. There's a lot of Mexico money. We know people with this. They have a hard time getting it into the United States. A friend of mine runs a brokerage, and she is now doing blockchain sales. So literally, someone, if they wanted to buy a property in the United States, they don't have to transfer their money to US.
Mm-hmm.
All they do is they transfer their money up to the blockchain. You put the property up in the blockchain, and that's where it goes through. Everything's converted through. So it's true with any currency, but it's also true with Bitcoin, Ethereum. So and also what we're able to do is if there's any of those Bitcoin millionaires out there, hit us up. You can lend us money in Bitcoin, and we can pay you in American dollars. So talk to your CPA about how you're going to get taxed with it, but we can do blockchain technology. You can do deals with us in cyberspace. AZ Flip Guys are fucking amazing.
Man, yes. And the guys, once again, that is the beauty of real estate. You can be as creative as you want to be in real estate. So, man, this has been an awesome show. But I like when we have off-topic shows like this because it allows us to interact with you, the audience. If you guys found this to be beneficial, make sure that you like the AZ Flip Guys page on Facebook, as I talked about. Make sure that you share our content. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, make sure that you comment on the videos. Make sure that you share our content. If you guys are listening to us, yes, we would love to hear from you. Send us a message. Make sure that you share our information. As always, we don't sell anything. We don't pitch anything. We just really like to give back value. So we are going to be signing off. We are down to the end of the hour. It is 1 p.m.
Yep.
So we got Cashflow Kris. We got BP the mentor. We got JD the intern back there.
JD.
The AZ Flip Guy signing off, reminding you once again to flip for cash, but very, very more importantly, make sure you hold for wealth.
Yes, sir. Peace.
All right. Now my fucking throat was hurting. You know, fucking talk.